You are now tuned in to Eclectic AI Weekly with your hosts Heath Nielsen and Zach Spencer. Brought to you by Eclectic Gentlemen.
All right. See, I almost did it again. Am I ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I mean, this is it. We're rolling.
All right, man.
Welcome to Eclectic AI Weekly, the show where we chase the edge of innovation, but sometimes we forget where we parked. This is episode 7. We've made it to 7. Like lucky number 7.
7's a good number.
My name's Zach, and sitting across from me is my good friend. Introduce yourself.
Heath Nielsen.
Heath. Man, we got the first and last name. I dig it. Before we dive into the show today, we got to remind you where you can find every episode of Eclectic AI Weekly and a ton of other Eclectic Gentlemen content. YouTube, X, Instagram, anywhere podcasts are hosted. I listen on Spotify. What do you listen on?
I use Overcast.
You use Overcast.
Yep.
We're on Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere.
And I often use YouTube too.
Yeah. We happen to be on there. So you can subscribe. You can send us a message. We would love to hear from you. Eclectic AI Weekly. It's the show focused on the latest in AI and the world of technology. But we also got to remind everybody about the Eclectic Gentlemen podcast. That's where we sit down, we have long-form conversations with some really interesting and eclectic people.
Some of them are 4 hours long.
Yeah. Master sailors, scientists, yoga teachers, stand-up comic. I mean, that's a pretty wide array of... it's eclectic, if you could say so. But today's topic at hand... Would you be into the idea of creating a highly capable Eclectic Gentleman supercomputer that knows all of our content so well it can help us create new episodes, maybe even run the whole damn business? Would you be into that, Heath?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, today we're going to lead us down that path. We're diving into the world of open-weight AI models. Think of them as open source rebels shaking up the AI game, letting anyone from indie coders to mad scientists tweak their brains for epic creations. We're going to unpack what these models do, how they work, the power that they require, because with great power comes great power, and what these things are capable of doing and what they could be capable of doing for us in the future. So, you dig it?
I dig it.
I dig it. But first, we got to take care of a little business here. It's our AI Wins of the Week.
AI Wins of the Week. Let's hear from Zach and Heath of the Week. AI Wins of the Week. AI Wins of the Week. Let's hear from Zach and Heath.
Boom, the AI Wins of the Week. What have we been working on this week? There's always new tools, and I'm working new tools into my workflow. I got some stuff, but what have you been working on? How have you been using AI this week?
Oh, I use it every day at work. Basically it's writing stuff for me. It's looking stuff up for me. But I'm not doing the same things that you're doing with it. You're making images and stuff like that, although I do watch a lot of that. I like the new feature where you just pick on a photo and you can make a short video of it.
Yeah, any photo on X, you can turn it into a video. That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
That's cool.
Just pick on it. And I did it with this, they had a zombie version of Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
And he just got closer to the screen and meaner. It was kind of cool.
Wow. I have been focusing on prompting a lot this week. So the quality of my prompts, I've been saving my prompts. So in Notion, I made a document that's got all my prompts, so I can do a lot of copy and paste. When I find a prompt that works for me and I like the output, I'm like, ooh, that's good. I'm saving it. That way I don't have to think about it again. And then I've been exploring something called JSON prompting. It's this structure for how you structure your prompts. It stands for JavaScript Object Notation. And instead of freeform text, they're very precise machine-readable instructions. So you tell it the tone you want. You tell it the topic you want. I'm not using it for everything, but playing with a little bit.
It sounds like a great way for the AI not to misunderstand your intent from the prompt.
Yes.
It adds a lot of preciseness to it.
Yeah, because a lot of times you're like, oh, I can't get the answer that I want from this tool, but it's because you're being unclear on the way you're prompting it. And it's very easy to like give it one instruction and then contradict yourself, and that confuses the machine.
Yeah, and then it gives you something like weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of weirdness.
Yeah.
So
I've used JSON with my when I'm programming my remotes for my drones too.
very cool.
I don't
Yeah.
know much about it though.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning. I'm making notes. So yeah, AI wins of the week. We always got something going on. But let's jump into our main topic. They're called open weight models right now.
Why are they called that? Do you know?
Yes, the name comes from the core weights that the trained numbers that make these models smart are called weights. So how smart it is, how good it is, that's called the weight. So this is open weight, which means it's kind of open source. Not 100% open source, but a little bit. But I was inspired for this topic.
Is weight the same thing as token?
I believe they're two different things. We need to do a show about token and token input.
Weight sounds like it has more to do with just controlling the AI, where tokens are thing it learns from.
Yep. So I was inspired on this topic because I learned about GPT OSS. It's OpenAI just came out with this. You can go and you can download it. You can put it on a computer. Picture an AI tool that would help us dream up podcast topics, and it could run the show for us, and it would be ours.
What do you mean by hours?
It would be ours. We can model it how we want, and then it's not connected to the internet.
It's air gapped. Okay.
Yep. So these are systems where they're not locked down like the older models. You get the engine to tweak, and you can tweak these things to do whatever you want. They're flexible, and there's no internet required to run them. They're not fully open source, so the code and the data aren't always shared, but they let you customize without having to start from zero every time.
Are you customizing the way that it responds to you, or are you customizing the input?
Well, from what I
Or both.
understand, yeah, both. We could train it. So
like if you have a subject matter that you want to train it specifically on. So it's kind of like an agent then, isn't it?
it could be used to do agentic tasks for you. Yes.
Agentic. There's a word.
Yeah. So
I like it.
So they're not as powerful as the other models.
Well, obviously they don't
yeah.
have all that silicon behind it.
Yeah, but they're less than 2% behind the big closed AIs in performance. So they're
That's
right
weird.
there. They're right there. So they're good for writing, coding, and math.
But they're not improving themselves like the other ones are, right? That's the big difference. The other ones are improving themselves and learning and...
Well, but one of the questions I had about this is, I'm sure there's a way, even though it's not connected to the internet, you'd kind of want it connected a little bit to the internet because you need it to jump over there and pull some information out from time to time.
Wouldn't you just grab it and feed it?
Yeah,
Like you could take a web page and you could download it and feed it in.
you could certainly do that. You could grab the web page, throw it in there, all the information you want it.
Can you give it a URL and it'll go and look at it?
I think you can do anything with these things.
Okay.
So they're not built connected to the internet, but eventually.
Depends on your machine that you put it on. So what machine would you put if you were going to build one today? What would you put it on?
So there's big power requirements for these things are way different. You gotta have a machine that you would think, I got the M1 MacBook. I don't think that would cut the mustard on this one. You need a newer model like the M3 chip. The memory is important too.
M3 or newer?
Yep, M3 or newer.
Are you talking about RAM for memory?
Yep.
Okay. So the M4 Pro Mac Mini stock would probably be strong enough.
Well, there's two models. There's the OSS 120B and the OSS 20B. So one of them is like...
What's the 120B stand for? 120 billion?
Possibly. Possibly. Stands for something. So for 120B, you would need a beefy, like a MacBook Pro that is a M3 at least, and you'd need 64 or 128 gigabytes of memory.
Wow. That's a lot of RAM.
Yep.
Especially if it's Apple RAM. That's expensive stuff.
That is expensive stuff. It's like back in the day, I remember like I would buy the RAM chips and stick them in my...
Except they're so fast nowadays that they have to be often soldered in.
Yeah, you can't stick them in your laptop like I could. I had a G4 tower back in the day.
Yeah.
And,
now the power requirements are like, no, it's going to get hot enough.
yeah. So, of course, there's going to be security benefits. These things, if they're not connected to the internet, nobody's hacking into your shit, man. So you can...
I'm assuming they don't phone home.
They do not phone home. Unless you want them to. Perfect for sensitive materials like podcast planning. If our notes fell into the wrong hands, somebody could go out here and just impersonate us the whole time.
You know, like if it had logs that it was sending back to OpenAI.
Well, you wouldn't risk... I just saw a story yesterday that I guess all this Grok data got leaked.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. But a lot of Grok data got leaked, and it was like people's conversations that they had with this thing.
How would that even happen?
I could look it up. I'll look it up real quick.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah,
We can move on.
it was interesting. So there would be no risk of that happening with one of these open weight models. So use cases. What do you use these open weight models for? They can help you with coding. They can write or fix code for apps and websites. You can run experiments. So the science dudes are going to love these open weight models. Mathematics.
Physics.
Niche jobs. So think of, you could have one of these that had all of your financial information in it. And it could run that, and it's just yours. Like no one else is ever going to see it. You can build your own chatbot. You can, create learning tools. These things have no subscription fees. They're private and they're tweakable. You probably need a little bit of tech know-how to work these things. So, this put me in the mind frame of what we kind of talked about as having our own AI tool for Eclectic Gentlemen. And
our own permanent guest on the show.
A permanent guest on the show. So we could fine tune a model like GPT OSS. It could brainstorm episode topics for us. We could summarize. We get so many comments on X that it could summarize those contents for us.
What's the number one concern?
Yeah.
What's the number one compliment?
It could draft our episode scripts. So, I spent a lot of time this week writing our episode scripts. And
I can tell.
We could use this thing to put them all together for us. Streamlining production. You could go to eclecticgentlemen.com and have our own chatbot that you chat with. I think what would be cool is if we took the transcript from every episode of Eclectic Gentlemen we've ever done. Each long form interview, like you said in the show open, there was 4 hours long. Drop that whole transcript into our tool. And then if we need to know a time that we talked about vintage stereos, it would say, oh, you talked about vintage stereos 14 minutes into your podcast with Roger, and here's the whole clip for it. So I'm wondering,
We did talk about vintage stereos a lot with Roger.
Yeah, we did.
It's like you're our own AI agent right now.
Yeah. So, but like, imagine even taking it a step further and being like, hey, give me a clip. If the video and everything's in there, it could just spit you out and be like, here's 3 options, 3-minute clips. And
if it has images of us, we could even just record something, make video of it that doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
Imagine.
I think you can do a lot with these things, and that goal.
So we could make unfilmed reels of our likenesses.
Yeah.
Based off of content. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. If we wanted to, we could create AI avatars that look exactly like us.
We might have to do a couple of shows like that.
Yeah, we could sit in those 2 chairs over there drinking coffee and just let the podcast play. Well, we've automated ourselves.
Just prompt it. Make the next episode. Maybe that's where we're headed, Zach. There's a lot less setup.
A lot less setup. A lot less setup. So by late 2025, these things are expected to be every bit as good as your closed AIs, the Groks of the world, things like that. And as these models get better, they're going to handle images, text, and possibly even video. So you can use them locally, or you can use them with the cloud. So, I could be at home and I would have access to our OSS server. There's mention of countries being able to build their own sovereign AI models for local needs. So you could have an AI model for your neighborhood where, hey, what's trash day? And, this tool would just know everything about your neighborhood, everything about the HOA and the bylaws, and you're only permitted to paint your door green or blue. You know what I mean? No pink doors in this neighborhood.
Oh, God. People walking around with cameras going, what HOA rules are they breaking?
Yeah. Yeah. And then soon, heading into the future, these models are expected to be so good that you can even run these things from your phone. So big picture, these models can really make AI as common as downloading an app.
So can you run the an interface from your phone to a more powerful computer at home?
I'm sure there's a way to do that.
All right.
I'm sure. Beginning of the year, these models were like close to 10% behind the speed of the closed models, and now the gap's closing, so they're almost
it's race
right
to
there.
the bottom.
So to recap, open weight models, they're customizable AI tools you can run locally. They're great for coding, science, or coming up with podcasting ideas. They're going to make the world an AI playground for everybody, and we're going to be right here.
And it sounds like it's going to be free.
Yeah.
As powerful as it is, it's going to be free.
They don't charge you for them. You can go in and just grab them and do your thing.
So where's the product?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
That means we're the product.
We are the product. I'm fine. I've been a product a long damn time. Yeah. And you know what another good product is?
The Eclectic AI Weekly poll.
It's time for this week's Eclectic AI Weekly poll.
The Eclectic AI Weekly poll.
Find Eclectic Gentlemen on the X platform to answer this week's question.
The Eclectic AI Weekly poll.
Thanks for being a part of the Eclectic Gentlemen community.
Thanks for being a part of the community, Heath.
Exactly.
So we're here. It's the most interactive portion of the show. It's the Eclectic AI Weekly poll. You can go to our X account. Yes, the link is below. It's right below the video here. And you can answer the question of the week. Last week, we talked all about the robo-taxi. So we had some good questions, get some good conversation going around that. And this week, in the Eclectic AI Weekly poll, we're going to ask you how you feel about these open weight models. We got a good question. The weekly poll gets posted right along with each new episode every week, and you got 7 days to answer it. So hop on X and make it happen. And with that, I think it's time to call it a day on this episode of Eclectic AI Weekly. You got anything else?
No, that was a lot.
That was a lot. That was a lot of information.
I was not ready.
Well, I never would have known. So that's it. We're going to call it a day. You can find us next week on the same channel and probably somewhere around the same time where we discuss. What are we going to discuss? I was going to say something else. I think next week we're going to be talking all about AI in education. I titled that one AI Goes to School, the future of
that's number
AI
8
in education. That is going to be number 8. And one of these days, we're going to be recording right from the backseat of your Cybertruck, Heath.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. So
while the truck is in motion, driving us around.
Yeah, the truck will be driving us. We'll be in the back, podcasting.
On our way to Canada, I suppose.
To what, go buy a drone?
buy some DJI drones and cameras in Canada, because you can't get them here.
You sure can. So, thanks for tuning in. We will see you next time. Remember, the only thing evolving faster than AI is your potential to shape it. Stay eclectic. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Eclectic AI Weekly. Join us next time for more in the world of technology and AI. Click the link in the description to like, follow, and subscribe.
Brought to you by Eclectic Gentlemen.